It's the official Baltimore Ravens postgame show. Another heartbreaking loss for the Baltimore Ravens as they snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, going down to Duval County in Jacksonville, losing 28-27. Last second 2-point conversion and a missed field goal from Justin Tucker. We're going to break it all down, talk about it as only we can. I got Dio Dominus, I got Big Raj over. If you're in the chat right now, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell, give us your thoughts. Let us know. Unleash. It's a safe space on the Flex On Podcast, the official Baltimore Ravens postgame show. Only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. What is going on, Flex Zone family? It's your boy, God's favorite host, the host with the Moist back here on the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place, fellas, giving you sports how you want it.
When you need it.
When you need it.
And what you need right now is that official Baltimore Ravens post-game show. Ravens lose 28-27. D, Raj, I got the crew with me. First of all, fellas, how are you both feeling after another tough loss for the Ravens? D, you said you weren't surprised.
I'm gonna go first real quick. I'm very pissed off, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I really wasn't at first, but I'm like, God damn. I mean, we was up by 7 points. Now I understand that we didn't play a complete game today. We played down to our competition, and it pisses me off every single time. Jacksonville was in the game the whole game. We had plenty of opportunities to take advantage of them when we didn't do it, and it's just like, yo, here we go again with another close game. Another chance for us to lose, and another chance for the Ravens defense to let us down again. And we had all three of those scenarios come into play. So it was very embarrassing. Probably the second most embarrassing loss of the season, other than the Miami Dolphins game. I'm left here scratching my head, and it's just like, yo, this team ain't ready yet, man. This team just has a lot of holes, clearly, and they still haven't solved anything defensively.
D, how you feeling? You said you weren't surprised. It's real solid. I know the Bengals are right on the Ravens' tails. We respect the Bengals here. I was big on them last year, but go ahead, D.
Yeah, Byron, I said I wasn't surprised. I knew this would be a tough game for the Ravens just because the fact Jacksonville's been close in a lot of their games, if not all their losses this year. They only lost by 10 or less. So it hasn't been like they've been blown out. They've been real close in games. But, it's a team lost the offense. Still really can't piece it together for the full game. But this week we actually seen some chinks from the defense. And this guy right here, as I'm about to go off of camera for a while myself, but this guy right here,
there you go, D.
Put him up on the big thing. Right there, Marcus Burnt Toast Peters, the pigeon himself today, he was destroyed. And that last drive, he single-handedly gave Jacksonville the lead and the win. He played awful. I don't know if he's hurt. I don't know what it is, man, but the brother don't want to tackle. He don't want to chase people down to get the ball. The early touchdown in the game was bad. He gave that up to Hastings, and Lawrence didn't even have his best weapon in there, man. He left and didn't come back in the game, and it seemed like Jacksonville offense rolled at him. So, disappointing loss. They got to bounce back to get Denver, which got a good defense and a terrible offense. So, it might be a 10-3 game again next week in M&T Bank Stadium.
Well, let's get into the numbers. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell. We accept everybody here. We accept all the comments. We appreciate you guys for joining us. Tough loss. We know the losses are more entertaining than the wins a lot of times, but the game, I had a bad feeling. I woke up this morning, then I went to turn the game on, as many of us did, and I know you guys are out and about, and I didn't see the game on. So I went away from the TV. I saw our friend Iron Eagle and Charles Davis were on calling the Titans Bengals. Then you see the announcement that there's going to be a weather delay because of lightning. Game starts after 1 o'clock. Already then I'm feeling a little weird. Then the Ravens come out, first drive, Lamar misses DeMarcus Robinson wide open. Then I think the next drive, which ends in a field goal. Then the next drive, he misses Andrews down the seams wide open. He'd had some drops. He did have some drops, but at one point he had 6 straight incompletions. The fumble by Gus Edwards, just missed opportunities over and over. I just had a bad feeling. We said it, and I said in my preview, they are 10-12 all time against Jacksonville, now 10-13, former division rivals. And we said it, like you said, D. Raj, Etienne, his best weapon, goes down with injury. I guess we can start with the offense, Raj, with Lamar Jackson. He goes, let me get his numbers up. Lamar went, let me go ahead. 254 yards and a touchdown, and 16 of 32. So only 50% completion percentage. What did you think of Lamar's performance today, Raj?
Oh man, I didn't like his performance. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I didn't like his performance at all in the first 3 quarters. He missed a lot of wide open people. But then again, the offense, again, he dropped a lot of balls too. So it was just like a 50-50 with him missing throws and a lot of people dropping passes. I feel like this offense is off sync. I don't understand what the problem is or what the issue is, but it just feels like they just very sluggish at times. Andrews is missing a lot of passes. He almost had a fumble rooski to start off the drive. I'm like, what the hell is going on? But it's just like, who was DeMarcus Robinson this week? Last week he had, a phenomenal day. This week, I don't think he even caught a pass, if I'm not mistaken. But Duvernay finally got involved a little bit, which is pretty good. But I just feel like this offense is missing something. I feel like they're missing the number 1 wide receiver. That's what I really believe that they're missing. And it shows in games like this where you need that go-to guy to give the ball. Now, granted, I'm not going to say that that's the reason why they lost this game, because they actually had a 7-point lead with 2 minutes left. But it's just like, like the whole game, it just felt like they were just going, slowly and moving in a terrible pace. And it's just a head scratcher, because you're going against a lesser than team, a team that's 3-7 at the time, and you're supposed to go out there, you're supposed to handle your business. And while I'm watching this game, I'm seeing the Dolphins destroy the Houston Texans. Take care of that business. Not the Baltimore Ravens, not them. They like to play it close. They like to play it tight, as D calls it. If it ain't tight, it ain't right, as he would say. But it's just another instance of they don't have the weaponry, and to actually blow teams out. And games like this is just very frustrating. I've been using that word the whole season though. This is a frustrating football team. It just really is. It's just like they should have 1 record, and they continue to keep shit in the bed at times. This is another shitter. So I don't know what else to say, man. But I'm just very disappointed, extremely disappointed with this football team. The effort was there. It's just the execution is still lacking, and it shouldn't be. At this point, Lamar Jackson knows what he needs to do to be a well-paid quarterback. He should not be missing practices at all right now. You don't need to be missing practices. I understand you don't take care of yourself at times. You have little stomach illnesses. Your hip is bothering you. I don't give a damn. You want to earn that $200 million. You need to be practicing every single week. And I don't need no excuses. I don't need no excuses. I understand we don't got the wide receivers like I've been saying before, but you got to gel with these guys, man. You might have to yell at these guys too to go the Tom Brady route. You might have to yell at somebody, because the 5 drop passes today should not have happened. But the offense today, they were up and down, like I said before, and they missed a lot of opportunities.
Raj, to your point about Robinson, and we'll get to the receivers in a second before I get to Dion Lamar. 1 catch, 17 yards, and he dropped a touchdown as well. D, I want to get your thoughts on Lamar. 4 field goals in the red zone. That's not going to get it done. I don't care.
It's definitely not Byron. Not going to get it done. The offense still not consistent. Can't play a full game. They have not been able to do it all year. Mr. Hill, no Gus is back, but this is my problem with the Ravens in general. They don't use all their weapons. They try to get Duvernay a little bit more involved. They did a better job in that, but then again, no Hill. Drake was really ineffective. They used a lot of Edwards, but just can't be Andrews all the time, man. You got to be able to find guys open. like I was saying earlier to Roger about guys like the tribal chief, Patrick Mahomes, he makes guys. He gets some in there. Tom Brady over the years make guys. Peyton Manning made guys over the years. I mean, we can go on and on over guys that does that well. You got to make people at some point. If you want $200 million plus, you got to make some guys, man. You got to make some guys. Granted, they drop passes. We know they're not good. Clearly, Lamar tried to use his legs today. Wasn't that his best with that decision making? The fourth down, the play. I don't even know what that was, man. And then that really got Jacksonville going early in the game. And then not just that, the play clock. Every week it goes down to zero, most if not all of the game. It's like, what are y'all doing upstairs, Greg? You got water one week, you got a drink the next, you got a burger in there. What are you doing? Get the plays off. Lamar, if you hear the plays not well, try to switch it up. I know you improvise sometimes. As a whole, the offense has to do better, man. I mean, just got to do better because when it gets colder, and January, and you want to play in February, this offensive effort is not going to get the job done. It's not going to do it.
D, you preaching, brother. You too, Raj. Let's get to the rushing attack. As you said, D, Lamar, 14 carries, 89 yards, had a touchdown wiped away. Longest was only 12 yards. And that fourth down was the worst quarterback sneak maybe I've seen in my life. Gus Edwards, 16 for 52. He had a touchdown. 16 yards was his long. He had a fumble. Duvernay, 2 carries for 16 yards. And Justice Hill, like you said, D, 1 for 3 yards. Kenyon Drake, 2 for 2 yards. So, D, your thoughts on the running game? Really didn't get much going.
No, I didn't outside, of course, Lamar. And like you said, Lamar didn't have no long runs, really. Nobody really had a long run, man, on the running side. And it's just got to get back. You got to use all you guys, man. Till you get Dobbins fully back, got to use everybody. If you don't use everybody, it still leaves holes. I mean, Justice Hill has bursts. You got to be able to use them some, man. Not going to use them in the full run game. Use them in draws and quick throws and stuff, man. It's got to be a little bit more innovative. And that's a lot of people beat for Greg Roman, and you can't blame people when they talk about Greg Roman that way. But Ravens blowing another lead. We'll talk about the defense in a moment, I know, but just gotta step up, man. Because Denver next week, granted, Denver's offense stinks, but their defense is still really good. And I don't think they're gonna be able to move the ball much on Denver, either the way they've moved it in general throughout the last couple weeks.
Go ahead, Raj. Your thoughts on the running game?
First off, let me say this, man. If y'all new to the chat, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. It helps us out. It helps get this video viral, which we're trying to do with the Ravens, because they seem to always want to go viral during the season by losing these type of games. But let me say this with the running game, man. I was unimpressed with the running game. Gus Edwards was not. I'm not to say he was terrible, but he looked like he missed some time, man. He looked like he didn't look. Well, let's say the first time he came back against Cleveland about 3 or 4 weeks ago, he looked like the Gus that we're accustomed to. Today, he looked a little bit rusty. He looked a little bit sluggish, a little bit slow on some of the runs, but he did what he's supposed to do. Besides the fumble, which caught him off guard, but sometimes that happens. Other than that, I'm really more disappointed in Kenyon Drake and Justice Hill. Not only because they didn't get the carries, but the carries they did get, they did nothing with them. Duvernay should have been used a lot more in the running game. They should have found ways to give him the ball even more, because when he touched the ball, he was getting that yak that we needed to get. But they failed on that aspect. So that it happens like that sometimes, man. But the running game, it could have been a lot better. Jackson probably was the leading rusher on the team, like he's almost is every week. But they just need more from this team, man. They need more from this offense. Because clearly the defense, they can't seem to do what they're supposed to do. But the running game could have been a lot better. They could have been more efficient with the runs. But they gave it up.
Let's talk about the receivers, Raj. As you mentioned, Demarcus Robinson last week, 9 catches. This week, 1. D, as you mentioned, they don't use all their weapons. Duvernay, 3 for 23. Andrews, 4 for 50. Deshaun Jackson had a big, long reception on that. What was that? Third and long. 2 for 74, 62-yard reception. Josh Oliver was your leading receiver. Nothing wrong with it, but you're not going to be able to win in the playoffs with that. 4 for 76 and a touchdown against his former team. And then Ricard, 2 for 14, running screens to Ricard. I still don't understand that when you have more guys who can make better plays after the catch. And that was pretty much that from the receivers. Raj, very lackluster, as you mentioned, man. It's to win in the playoffs, man. They're going to have to find somebody consistently that can win and make plays at the receiving position.
Most definitely, man. They got to find something, man. And I don't think it's going to be this year, honestly. I mean, we know how the Ravens are when it comes to wide receivers. They don't give a damn about them. They don't really care about them. And it's showing right now. This shows right now that more than ever, you need a number one guy. They don't have a number one wide receiver. They clearly don't. And so that's why they have to overuse the tight ends. They have to keep throwing to Andrews, throwing to Oliver, throwing to Likely when he plays. They throw to all these big guys, but they don't have anybody that's that guy. Now, Deshaun Jackson, he made a remarkable catch. He showed that he's still fast. He can still get open. He can still burn the wide, the cornerbacks when he's healthy. But other than that, they didn't use him that much. They might have to use him a little bit more. Sadly to say, because if he can get separation, that's what you exactly need. But it was just up and down. The whole game was just up and down, up and down. And I felt like they didn't get into a good rhythm until the fourth quarter. Now, if they would have gotten to the rhythm early on in this game, this would have been a blowout. This would have been an easy victory for the Ravens. We wouldn't be having this discussion right now about certain things that happened. But since they got off to a sluggish start because they couldn't finish in the red zone, and again, it just shows you that they're missing a lot of things on offense that they should have. Because over the past 5 years, we've been missing that one great piece. And we just never got it. We never had it. I mean, Marquise Brown Hollywood was a good substitute. He was a good second. You know what I'm saying? He was a good second wide receiver. But we never had a number one. Never had one. And it continues to keep rearing its ugly head, man. So I'm glad that, Lamar did get his yards. He got 254 yards, a touchdown. I mean, that's great. But when it comes to actually scoring in the red zone, man, it seems like it's a hard thing to do. It seems like it's an extremely hard thing to do, especially this season. So, man, the wide receivers, tight ends were okay as usual, but it's just like, here we go again, man. We're in another close game. It just makes me mad, man, when I see my rivals like Cincinnati. They're missing Joe Mixon, and they're missing Jamar Chase, but yet they still are able to go out there and do what they're supposed to do, to execute efficiently and effectively. We're still struggling on like certain plays and stuff. It just makes it very tough.
Go ahead, D. Your thoughts on the receivers and tight ends.
Well, Bob, when Olivier is your leading receiver, you got a problem. Okay, Olivier. He ain't Oliver. He's Olivier. That being said, Greg Roman, the receiving end is on you, man. You got to scheme these guys open. We know we don't got the good skilled guys, so the scheme got to help them get open. I mean, they're just not finding a way. Duvernay, still to be wasn't used effectively enough. It's good to see Deshaun Jackson still got a little burst, but he did get rocked to play too now. Might have shook them old bones up a little bit there, so might need a lot of ice tonight. Going back up from Jacksonville to Baltimore. It's just the Ravens have never drafted a number one wide receiver. Always had to go out and get somebody either at the end of their rope or close to the end. It's just yes, Olivier. Yes, Olivier. Hey, Mark. He looked like he was twinkle toeing out there where he's trying to catch the ball. He missed that one catch, but so many missed catches too, man. Execution. Gotta execute, man, when it's there. So it's 50% execution, 50% play calling on the receiver end, and something got to get done, man. Because again, you're not gonna go in January playing like that and winning football games. Because in all likelihood, this team is still in the 4th seed spot right now. After the first round, they're gonna be traveling, and it ain't gonna work out if they playing like this offense.
And D, real quick, I don't know if you're done. I'll let you finish, but I just saw the playoff picture come up. The Ravens would probably host either Miami or Buffalo, whoever doesn't win the AFC East, if they do finish 4th, D, just saw the playoff picture. So, and if you think about how things are going to play out, Miami and Buffalo are getting in. One's going to win the division. One's going to be the highest wild card. So you're probably going to have to host one of them if you stay where you're at. Just putting it out there.
And we've seen how that happened early in the year.
Both teams. So, D, offensive line. No Ronnie Stanley today. I think the Ravens only gave up 1 sack. Let me see. Yep, only gave up 1 sack. But Makari held up pretty well. No false starts, really. No holdings like that. How do you think the offensive line held up?
The offensive line did all right. I think run blocking, they wasn't at their best. Without Stanley, they probably won't be. For everything they've had to go through, injuries again with Stanley and everything, and the shift of the line, it's been all right. Nick Bull has sucked blocking, though. His time is about up here in Baltimore. He's about that. But with that being said, I get a line in solid B. They did what they had to do to maintain. But again, as we come down to scheme, man, we gotta scheme up and see all these tight ends, man. You still got I can't think of the tight end that's still Olar needs to get in there. Need to see what he can do. Need to see what these guys can do. Because Bull clearly with the injury, he can't block well. That was a great catcher, but he ran block well now. And Andrews ain't in there to block, and Olivier ain't in there to block more likely. So he comes back. So they got to pick it up.
Go ahead, Raj. Your thoughts on offensive line? Only 1 sack.
I thought they were halfway decent. They didn't give up too much today, but I don't know what to say, man. I mean, to me, they're doing their job, but Lamar gets happy feet in the pocket, man. He isn't poised in the pocket. He's just, I don't know. He just feels it looked like he's very uncomfortable at times, and it just makes me think like he doesn't have enough time. But he had like all the time in the world today to throw the football, a lot of time to throw the football. But the O-line, they were okay today. I don't have no gripes with them. They didn't really give up any penalties. They didn't give up too many sacks. They was able to help Lamar stay in position and get the plays off. And I thought they did a pretty good job today. So I don't have no gripes with them. They did what they were supposed to do to get a solid A.
Let's go to the defense, guys. But real quick, let's touch on. People forget Trevor Lawrence was the number 1 pick last year, had a tough rookie season, but so did Peyton Manning. 29 of 37, 321 yards, 3 touchdowns. Probably his best game as a pro from what I've seen. Jermichael Hasty, no Etienne, 12 for 28. He made some plays. Zay Jones, 11 receptions, 145 yards, even the 2-point conversion game winner at the end of the game. Hasty, 5 for 67. Christian Kirk, 4 for 46. Agnew, 5 for 37 in a touchdown. Marvin Jones Jr. had the last touchdown, 3 for 22 in a touchdown. I mean, Jacksonville, we mentioned it, man. They are no scrubs, Raj. They got some weapons.
Hats off to them, man. I got to give props to them. They came out there and they played a hell of a game. Trevor Lawrence is a beast, bro. He's going to be – and he's going – a lot of people clowned him. A lot of people have clowned his brother, but he can play. He can play. He showed me a lot today. He was poised in the pocket when he was getting sacked, and it was like second and what 20 or whatever. He came back and he threw for like first downs. He stayed. He kept them in the game the whole game. He was poised. He was throwing to his receivers. He was making sure he's throwing to the wide open man, and he just drove down the field on us like the whole game. So I don't have any, they did what they're supposed to do. They won the game. But this defense, man. This defense, I don't know what to really say. They had plenty of chances to close this game out, and they just could not get the job done. I think Calais Campbell had a sack. Broderick Washington had a sack today. And I forgot who else had a sack, but I think it was like 4 sacks today. As far as getting to the quarterback, they was able to do that very well. But Marcus Peters, man. Now, I'm not going to really blame him for this whole game, but that last drive was terrible. Like I said before at the top of the show, the last drive was awful. And it becomes this. This is what this is now for him. This is his future in Baltimore. It's just he's burnt toast. He's known as burnt toast now, and it never was that way. It never became that way with Marcus Peters. He was always a solid cornerback that was, either he was going to make the play or he was going to miss the play, not continuously miss the play over and over and over again. This is what his career has come down to. But like I was saying before, man, I don't know. I don't know what to really think about with this defense. I honestly don't get where it starts from. I'm gonna say this though. I think we're missing Marcus Williams more than ever. I think Kyle Hamilton being out this week shows you that you need him on the field, because Chuck Clark, I don't know what he was doing today. He clearly wasn't playing football. And Geno Stone, I love him. He played a real good role in these last 3 to 4 games that Marcus Williams has not been playing, but he's not it either. He's just not it. They need Kyle Hamilton and they need Marcus Williams out there on the field, especially if Marcus Peters is going to become burnt toast every single week. I mean, because you see clearly he was missing safety coverage a lot of the times, man. But yeah, man, I just don't know. I don't know what to say. I honestly don't with this defense, man. One minute they look great, and the next minute they're giving up 20 to 30 yards. So it's the same old stuff that was in week 2 and on to now.
The Ravens were up by as much as 9, as you mentioned, Raj. 4 sacks. Broderick Washington, Calais Campbell got sacked number 99, so he's 1 away from 100. Bowser looked good with a sack. And Humphrey had a sack. Humphrey went out with the injury but did come back. Peters had 8 tackles. Roquan Smith, 8 tackles. Clark, 7 tackles. Brandon Stevens, he cannot find the ball either. I know we're going to slide Marcus Peters, but Brandon Stevens, he's covering the guys well, but he does not have any ball skills, and they always catch the ball on him as well. D, got to get your thoughts on the defense, brother.
Well, we already know Stevens, he's the house pitcher. So we figured he always get toasted or burned or something like that. Humphreys, all things considered with his injury, he played well. I thought the front 7 actually played well enough to win, Now, they didn't get to Lawrence when they needed to. That was the downside of that. But they did at least get to him enough. Stevens and Peters stunk the joint out. And especially Peters. Gave up the first touchdown early there. He said he just pretty much looked at him catch the ball and looked at him run for the touchdown. Didn't do nothing about it. Throughout the game, you seen him trailing. He was not guarding anybody, giving 10 yards plus cushion. Then at the end of the game, I mean, every time Lawrence needed something, he said, "Oh, I see that burnt toast over there. I smell it. Let me just throw the ball over there." And he got it every time, and then got the touchdown. Then the 2-point conversion. He went back to the house pigeon, Stevens. He's there, but he never. Pigeon's always near the food, but they never can get it. He's that. Stevens is that. He's near it, but he never can do nothing about it. And that's what he is. I mean, he's not good. Neither one of them is not good. The defense definitely had some chinks in it compared to the last couple weeks. We know they got to get better on that side of the ball as well, man, especially in the secondary. Chuck Clark, I don't know, Chuck Clark mad that they went out, got a safety, and then drafted one. He's still in his feelings. He need to get out of his feelings, or he will be out of a job here in Baltimore coming up in the offseason, because he has not played consistent the last half of this season compared to the way he's been since he's been in Baltimore. Did miss Hamilton, definitely miss Williams. Miss Williams badly. Hopefully he's back by Pittsburgh. We need at least everybody back by the Steelers game, because it's a rivalry game, and the Steelers would love nothing more than to mess with the Ravens. They've beaten them 5 straight times. They would love to keep that streak up. So defense got to get back, but mainly the burnt toast you see right now talking, he needs to really get his act together and really soul search and see what he wants to be.
And the defense has 13 straight games with a takeaway. Longest active streak in the NFL, 4th longest streak in team history. Real quick, special teams. Justin Tucker, 4 out of 5. What did you guys think about the kick? If it was probably a yard or 2 closer, he would have made it. He almost broke his own record, which was 66 last year in Detroit. But they had a chance. I mean, and Tucker is the guy you went out there, Raj.
Man, I was on pins and needles, man. I was on pins and needles. If Oliver would have got a couple more yards and was able to get out, I think he would have had it, man. I think he would have had it, but it, I was just like, damn, he almost had that, but it shouldn't have. It should have never had to come down to that. It should have never had to come down to that. So I'm not upset about Justin with that missed kick. It is what it is. But let me talk about this. That 2-point conversion that Jacksonville did, boy. Oh my God, man! I almost lost. I almost ran to the bathroom when I saw that. I was like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. I remember Harbaugh was doing that all last year to people, trying to get 2-point conversions on people and could never get them. As soon as Doug Peterson calls it, boom, he gets a 2-point conversion on the pigeon, as D. Call and Brandon Stevens. So, I mean, this type of stuff happens to the Ravens. They do this. They do these type of things. It seems to always happen to them at the wrong time of the year. And it just is what it is, man. It is what it is. But Justin Tucker, he had a good day today. He made a lot of field goals. But sometimes it just doesn't go the way you think it's going to go. What do you think, Dave?
That's all I can say, man. You gotta give Jacksonville credit for going for that 2-point conversion. They probably felt like, hey, we don't got enough juices to win this in overtime. And they got it done, man. You gotta give them credit for that. They got it done. Tucker going for the 67-yarder. It is what it is, man. It looked good, but had about maybe 3 more yards. It probably would have went into Jacksonville. But how about Jacksonville special teams? Got the one punt inside the 5. The Ravens tried it. They couldn't get the job done, clearly. But we'll see how things go, man. They got a stretch here, playing good defenses, and it's gonna be. It might be a lot of Tucker coming up in the next 2 weeks. Definitely a lot of Tucker.
And that's why I hate it when people say the Ravens have the easiest schedule remaining. Oh, they are going to be favored in every game. They could win out. No, the Ravens, as you guys mentioned, play down to their competition, and it's no gimmies in the NFL. A lot of teams are better than even their records. We saw Carolina win today. We saw things happen every week. So, I mean, I didn't like that talk anyway. How you guys feel about this whole schedule? Because anything can happen. Like D said, you still got to go to Pittsburgh, still got to go to Cleveland, who won today, which I think will be tough. Still got to go to Cincinnati to end the year. I think those could be 3 games you could lose right there.
Don't forget Atlanta as well, man. Atlanta's a team that can show up on you as well, man. They're inconsistent, but they can show up. So the key is these teams we talking about, Byron, outside of maybe Atlanta, they got good defenses, man. And the Ravens offense has shown their inconsistency. So it's not gonna be easy, man. You might get a good half, 2, even 3 quarters. You're gonna have to struggle, and the Ravens like it tight. If it ain't tight, it ain't right, and that's the Ravens mantra. That's what it is. So get the stress medicine ready, get the heart medicine. The Just for Men gray, because some guys have got gray hair because of the Ravens. Get it all out. If you like burnt toast, to shade the burntness off of the toast. That's what's gonna be. It's gonna be stress. That's what it is. The Ravens. You watch the Ravens, get ready to be stressed out.
Rod, your thoughts on the schedule before I look ahead to Week 13 against Denver?
Bro, the schedule is tough, man. It's tough. I mean, the teams look like they're cupcakes. We could just roll over them. But knowing the Ravens and knowing how this team operates and knowing the lack of offensive weapons that we don't have, every game is going to be probably close. Just like today. I don't see them blowing anybody out. I don't see them actually, probably losing a couple more games. I think that's just the way of the beast, man. That's the way it is. And like I said before, when Harbaugh said in the little press conference that, he don't care which wide receivers come here, it's still haunting us to this day. It's haunting us right now because we need guys who are proven guys that can get the ball. I mean, we didn't have 5 straight drop passes these past 2 weeks. These past 2 weeks, we had a combined 10 to 11 drop passes from this team. This is the type of stuff I'm talking about, man. And now we're playing a softer schedule, as they call it. Ain't nothing soft about this shit. I mean, Carolina is a good team. Yes, they're missing, a couple pieces here and there, and they lost a couple defensive pieces. They're still a good football team. Atlanta, they're no sneak. That's not going to be an easy game. They're going to come into Baltimore and they're going to give us a game. The Steelers twice. We already know what the Steelers can do. The Steelers are definitely going to keep it close with the Ravens. In Cleveland, their pass rush is off the chains. They hurt Lamar last year. They almost hurt him again this year. And that's going to be a close game. They should have beat us the first game of the year. So in Cincinnati, the last game of the season, come on, man. Come on, man. They on our heels right now. So none of these games are gimmies. None of these games are. I've been saying it the whole year. They're going to continue to keep people in the game. And it's just going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a dogfight, from here on out. Because we don't have the necessary weapons to really blow people out. We don't have any of that. If Lamar ain't rushing the ball for over 100 yards and, having over 300 yards passing, it's just not going to happen, man. It's not. So that's just the life we're going to live right now. They put too much money into this defense for them to be playing this poorly on defense. But that's just the name of the game.
Got a poll up, guys, trying to get interactive with our community. Will the Ravens win the AFC North? Vote yes or no. Thank you for everybody who's voted so far. So make sure you vote on that poll. It'll be up through the rest of the post-game show. Let's look ahead to Week 13. Crazy enough to already say that, as the NFL season is in its last quarter as we head into that next week. Raj, real quick, your thoughts on Denver. Still got a tough defense that you guys mentioned.
I'm scared, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, Russell Wilson is not having the best season right now, but yet this is another game where it's going to be yet called a cupcake game, and we're going to be probably struggling to try to win this football game. So it's not going to be a give me game next week. I expect the Denver Broncos to keep it close with us, and I'm just at this point I'm just very afraid. I really am, because I don't know what to expect. I don't know what Ravens team I'm gonna see. I don't know if I'm going to see a dominating running game, from Gus Edwards, Lamar, and Kenyon Drake, and Justice Hill, or if I'm going to see a good passing game with DeMarcus Robinson and maybe a bit of Duvernay, or a balanced game, with both. I don't know what the hell I'm going to see. I really don't. And like Dee said, Denver has a good, they have a good defense. So we see what happens with the Ravens when they play good defenses. They seem to lose their way, especially in the red zone. So I don't know what to expect. I really don't, man. I just hope that we don't get blown out. I hope we don't embarrass ourselves. We've seen too many of that this season, especially with the Dolphins in today's game.
Jeremy Early, I agree with you, brother. We put blame on Lamar early on in the stream if you didn't watch it. First series, he overthrows a guy. Next series, he overthrows Andrews. He overthrew Robinson. He missed some throws. He's holding on to the ball very long when he should probably just take off and run with it to make something out of nothing. I think that Lamar has to play ball with the Ravens. It's a negotiation. He ain't getting guaranteed money, especially the way he's playing now. The first 4 weeks, he played great. But other than that, he's been mediocre. But go ahead, D, your thoughts on defense, on the Denver game and their defense. You on mute, dude.
I bet. Yeah, the Broncos defense is really good, man. They don't let up points like that unless you force it on the other side. And Denver offense is struggling. Judy has been in and out the lineup. Murray did have 92 yards today against Carolina. Wilson and his offensive coordinator had a little spirit has changed on the bench. We'll see what Russell Wilson we're getting next week, because right now we're getting poor man's Russell. We're not getting Victor. Getting poor man Russell right now. But we'll see, man. The Ravens, though, it's up to them. They're their own worst enemy, man. Which Raven team we gonna see? We're gonna see a dominant team that jumps into an early lead and then got to hold on to win, or we're gonna see a team that gonna be nipping tuck back and forth through the game and either win it or lose it close. We've seen that the last couple of weeks. It's like the only game we really seen them dominated was the Saints. They dominate the Saints, man, pretty well. And even with the Jet game, they dominated early. Then they even Flacco had over 300 yards on him. So we'll see, man. We'll see what Raven team we get next week.
Again, vote on the poll. Let us know your thoughts down below. Lot to say. Jeremy, hey, we'll see. The defense has been doing their own. I mean, the Ravens really probably could have put up damn near 40 points. 4 red zone trips, 4 field goals, as I mentioned. You got to do better than that. A lot of drops as well. But let's look around the NFL. Matter of fact, let's give out our game ball, not so game ball. D, I'll start with you. Then go ahead, Raj.
All right. Let's start with the game ball. Game ball got to go to Justin Tucker, man. Yes, he missed the long 67-yard, but hell, he was working today. Had to get 4 kicks, a 55-yarder in that. He was working today. He had a long afternoon, but he was able to get through, get it done. Not so game ball. We're not just going to pick on Mr. Burnt Man here, Peters, but the secondary outside of Humphrey as a whole. Outside of Humphrey, the secondary really stuck the joint up. And Fabio Lawrence had 321-yard passing. That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. That's all I got.
Go ahead, Raj.
It was virtual insanity is what this was today. With Trevor Lawrence gets my game ball. Oh, hold on. If you're new to this chat, please hit that like and hit that subscribe button, please. We do these every Sunday. We analyze the Ravens. We slide them, but we make sure that we tell it like it is. So if you like what we're talking about, hit that like, hit that subscribe, tell a friend, and tell another friend. But my game ball goes to Trevor Lawrence. God damn. Hold up. 8 drops? He had 8 drops today?
Sound about right.
Like I said, my game ball goes to Trevor Lawrence because he cooked his damn defense. He cooked Marcus Peters' goofy looking behind, and he made them look like fools out there. So he had over 300 yards, like D said, and he pretty much got the job done, especially when it was crucial in crunch time. He made sure that he came through with his football team. So that's my game ball. My national game ball, it has to go to this guy. I'm sorry. It got to go to Marcus Peters. I mean, goddamn, we was up by 7 points, man. Like I said before, you decided to not play at all in the last drive of the game. The last 2 minutes, where the hell were you at? Why was the bread so toasted? Huh, Marcus? Why was you looking like this, my good brother? I don't understand. Look at me. I'm a burnt toast. All I need is butter and some jelly. And maybe I might taste a little bit good. But no, you don't. You taste like shit. And that's how you played in the last 2 minutes. You bastard. But anyway, that's enough. That's enough for me. Enough of seeing this goofy looking guy right now. I gotta say this, man. Ravens gotta do better as a whole organization, the staff and the team. 8 drop passes that Brian put up today is unexcusable. It is disgusting. And this is exactly what I was talking about when I say we need wide receiver help. This is what I said on Thursday when I was at his house, at his parents' house, and talking to his dad. And I was saying, Dad, look, we need some wide receivers on this damn team because this is exactly the type of stuff that we get. We get stuff like this. It makes no damn sense, man. No sense you should have 8 drop passes. None. Now, I understand that Lamar, some of them passes were, a little off. It happens, man. Every time Patrick Mahomes throws to his wide receivers, they catch the damn football. When Tom Brady throws to his people, they catch the football. Why can't they do that with Lamar Jackson? I don't understand. I don't get it. That's, like that type of stuff pisses me off. Every time I see it, it disgusts me. Especially watching Patrick right now throwing passes to wide open wide receivers. Disgusting. I'm done ranting. I'm sorry.
Well, let's get into the scores. Thanksgiving, we had 3 games. Started at noon with the Bills holding on 28-25 over the Lions, fellas.
Props to the Bills. The Lions has been coming on strong. They actually was on a 3-game winning streak, Detroit was. And the Bills have done something the Lions can't even do since 2016. That's win 2 straight games at home in Detroit. That's what Josh Allen did. They found ways to win. And that's the difference right now between Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Josh is finding ways to win. Lamar's teams are finding ways to lose.
What was the question again?
Bills, Lions. Bills 28-25 over Lions.
Stephon Diggs. I will, number 1 wide receiver, help that team get the victory. I watched that whole game, and I thought the Bills was going to lose, but Stephon said, F that. Give me the football. I'm going to take us home. I'm going to give us the touchdown, and I'm going to make sure that we get in the field goal range to make sure that we win this football game. That's all you need, man. That's all you need is a guy like that.
Ravens had a chance to get him.
Disgusting. It's just. Let's tell you, this is making me mad again. Let me stop. Just stuff all day. Great player.
We love Angry Raj. We don't want him to be angry because that usually means somebody needs the belt. But we love Angry Raj. And we love D sliding people, calling them, what you call them, D stool pigeons?
Yes.
Straight up stool pitching. That's what he is. That's what Stevens is.
Oh, man. Cowboys get a win 28-20 over the Giants. Go ahead, fellas.
It was a good win for the Cowboys. They're still rolling. Stephen A. Smith is very unhappy in his booth at ESPN, which makes me very happy at times because he's a goofball. But yeah, the Cowboys get it done. CD Lamb, another number one wide receiver, was out there balling. So there you go.
Oh yeah, no shot there. The Giants just looked a step slower. Saquon Barkley really in the last 2 weeks in their losses have not done well at all. And Daniel Jones is just the guy. That's all he is, just the guy.
And then the nightcap, we had the Patriots and Vikings. Vikings 33-26, guys.
Hey, man, Minnesota got it done. Kirk Cousins finally looked like something decent in prime time. Now, New England did holes. That was the touchdown. They got holes there. It was definitely a touchdown. They got screwed over. But Minnesota, and that's another one to Roger's point, Jefferson drafted. And remember, Vikings also drafted Stephon Diggs, too. So, Ravens, you got to find a way to draft a receiver. I know in the 25 years of this team, you haven't been able to draft the number one, but you got to find a way to do so. So that's the way to go. If you about to pay Lamar, that's going to be the way to go.
Well, all else failed. Kirk Cousins, who always looks like trash in prime time, throws to his two great wide receivers, and Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson. There's a pattern here.
And they also traded for a number one tight end.
Yes, and they got a number one tight end from the line. What was it, from the Lions?
From their own division, yes, the Lions.
From their own damn division. So you tell me, man. You tell me, how many weapons does Lamar have besides Andrew? Exactly. So I mean, shout out to the Vikings. They got the job done. Shout out to Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen and my man Cook, who had a quiet day, but he wasn't really needed to do anything anyway. So there you go.
Panthers 23-10 over the Broncos. Denver comes to Baltimore next week. Rod, you said the Panthers were going to win. I picked Denver stupidly.
I said the Panthers were going to win because I watched them last week. They have a lot of fight left in them. They're still fighting for something, honestly, because that division is still up for grabs. Thanks to the Buccaneers losing again to the Cleveland Browns. But DJ Moore had a great day today, had over 100 yards and a touchdown. I think
Another
Sam
guy
Darnold played.
The Ravens' backyard, by the way.
Yep, another guy they could have had and drafted, but they decided not to. Sam Darnold had a pretty good day today, I believe, and they just rolled, man. They still in it. They're still fighting, which is good for the Panthers.
Hey, Byron, don't worry. I picked Denver, too. I just looked at the situation beforehand, but my man Sam Darnold played, and not that faker Mayfield played. So that was a good difference. They got DJ Moore involved finally and did well. And again, Denver offensively just a step slow. Like now we're getting poor man Russell. And Denver is what it is. Mr. Nate Hackett out there might be a one-year coach, the way it looks like right now.
As we would say, he gone. Commanders, Cravante, where you at? 19-13 over the Falcons. Commanders keep rolling, baby.
Yeah, man, the Commanders kept rolling, man. They got the job done. I watched a little bit at that game. Brian Robinson, he's looking like a really good pick for the Washington Commanders. He was rolling today. I know Tyler Haneke probably had another interception, but it didn't matter. They found a way to win. They're 7-5 right now in the season. They're still fighting for a playoff spot. They're still fighting in the division, and they're still doing what they're supposed to do. Shout out to them.
Yeah, man. Props out to good old Washington getting it done. You know, I heard that old Wentz is going to be the third string quarterback. That's great news because he ain't seeing the light of day again. And I'm telling you right now, Pink Sam is looking good. But their December schedule, man, not easy. They got to play the Giants twice. They got to play the Cowboys. They still got to go to San Francisco in a big game for Washington. So they 7-5 right now, right? Yeah, because they haven't even had their bye week yet. It's getting together for them, but they got to keep it going because it ain't gonna get easy.
Yes, Chase Young returned today as well. Jets, Raj, Mike White, 31-10 over the Bears. No Justin Fields, I believe, right? 31-10.
If it ain't White, it ain't Mike. And right now, Mike was great. I mean, he came in there and he played really, really, really well. Now, granted, it was against a team that their defense is trash, but he still went in there and he did his thing. So shout out to Mike White. Shout out to Garrett Wilson. They had 2 big days for the Jets. They made easy work of the Chicago Bears and Travis Simeon. And they got the job done, man. Shout out to them.
Hey man, Zach Wilson might not get his job back either, man. White ain't right. He was right today. He was right. Wilson got involved, receiving wise for the Jets. The Bears almost had to play their third string quarterback. Simeon had an oblique injury in practice, but they was able to nurse him well. They must have hit the Benny Hinn jacket on him because they seen Peterman as the third string quarterback. They said, "Oh God, no, we got to get Simeon up in here." But the Bears pretty much, I mean, the Bears ain't playing for nothing now at this point, man. You probably going to build on Fields. They still got Montgomery. The Jets might be a playoff team. We'll see. They might be.
Dolphins, as you said, Raj, take care of business, beating Houston 30-15, and it wasn't really that close.
Beaten, battered, slaughtered. They was down 30-0 at one point in that game. And that's exactly what the Ravens do not do. So good job. Hats off to Miami. They're rolling as well. And they're rolling to the tune of their own beat. So they take care of that business. That's all you gotta say.
Yeah, the Tuners look good, Byron. Texans stink. Their next game, a nice reward for the returning Deshaun Watson, the quarterback they traded to Cleveland. They'll be in Cleveland for that one next week. And the Texans be one, whatever their losses is, and one.
And next we had the Bengals right there tied with the Ravens. Ravens have the tiebreaker because they beat them. Beat the Titans 20-16. Raj, I told you the Bengals was going to find a way to win. I just had a feeling. And Jamar Chase will be back probably next week.
Oh man, what a terrible day for a Ravens fan. Not only do you got Cincinnati right on your heels, but now you have a tied record with them yet again, and they beat Tennessee. So we're all 7-4 at this point. But yeah, man, Cincinnati even without Mixon and Jamar Chase, they were still able to put up some good points against the Titans, and they got the job done, man. So I mean, it is what it is. Cincinnati is pretty much the leader from last year's divisional crown to the AFC North, and they right there again try to take the crown back from the Ravens.
Yeah, man. Joe Burrow's another one that makes his guys. He didn't have his 2 primary weapons, but he made them guys. They got back to the running game with Penny and able to get it done. And same old Titans, man. Just don't know. Tannehill up one game, down the next. You just don't know with him. For the Titans, they we lost Cincinnati last year in the playoffs, and now this year they get us. Cincinnati, though, will host Kansas City next week. Kind of a repeat. They play Tennessee and Kansas City back-to-back in the postseason. This time, though, they do get Kansas City at home like they did in the regular season last year as well. So that should be a very exciting late game next week in that late window. I think CBS has a doubleheader. It'll be them that hands down.
Hopefully the Tribal Chief can handle business. Browns beat the Buccaneers in overtime 23-17, D. Deshaun Watson back next week, like you said.
Yes, Brissett did he was honorable. He was honorable in playing quarterback this year, but the Buccaneers struggles continue. Didn't have Fournette today, and the Buccaneers has been up and down, up and down. Thomas, we might be watching the end of his career. He did have a better second half to his credit. We can't wait to see Tom on Fox because the old folks home is calling his name. Just calling his name. He, again, as I always tell Roger, at worst, is the second best quarterback of all time. He's number one in most people's eyes. I have no problem with that. He's second in my eyes, but he's no worse than second. He has had a brilliant career, but his family life, we know what's going on with that. We don't need to discuss that right now. He chose football over his family. Hey, it is what it is, It's been a nice run for Tom, but it's over. It's going to be over. They're what, 5-6 now? They're 5-6 now. So once they make the playoffs, they lose in the first round. We can all celebrate Thomas, his wonderful career, and then celebrate him every week on Fox during America's game.
D, you're such a bastard. Okay, you're such a bastard. But before I get into that game, let me address something with Big Red. Yes, Joe Burrow didn't really have to make T. Higgins. T. Higgins was always a problem. Jamar Chase was always a problem. That was his teammate in LSU. And who else does he have? Tyler Boyd. We already know who Tyler Boyd is. If you're a Ravens fan, you better know who the hell Tyler Boyd is. So he didn't have to make anybody. His wide receivers were already great coming into the league.
He gets it done.
So I don't want to. No, D. No.
Dude,
Like I said before,
has to do better.
He didn't have to make nobody. They were pre-made. That's what the Ravens need. They need pre-made. But let me get back. Let me get back to the greatest quarterback of all time. All right, we're not gonna sit here and disrespect Thomas Brady. All right, we're not doing that. All right, I understand they lost. They lost in overtime. Tom Brady, struggled a little bit early, but he got it going late. And sometimes you come up short. That happens in football. Just a tad bit short.
How short, Tom?
But it is what it is.
Giselle say how short
they'll still make the playoffs because they're in the weak division, and they're going to find a way to get it done. And stop that. Stop that, D. Stop that foolishness. You're on live. You're on live. You calm it down. But like I was saying before, man, Tom Brady is definitely. You stop it, Byron. Put me back on the damn big screen, damn it. What's wrong with you?
What Giselle said.
Giselle ain't say that, all right? You leave that shit alone. He didn't say nothing about his
hey, man, only get D once a week, man. I got to take advantage of it.
Hey.
No good.
She didn't say nothing about his manhood, all right? She didn't say nothing about that. You leave that man's manhood alone. But like I was saying before, man, we're not going to sit here and slide Tom Brady just because he's having a down year. It is what it is. I know he's 45 years old, but he can still get the job done. They came up short, but hats off to the Cleveland Browns. They still fighting too. And it like I said, it's not going to be a cakewalk for the Ravens. Not at all. You stop it. Damn it. You stop that. Stop it.
Oh, man. What we got? This is the afternoon block now. 49 is beating the Saints 13-0. Really no surprise there.
Nah, Saints.
Chiefs handling the Rams 20-3. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah.
No Stafford, no hope.
Yeah, what he said, no Stafford, no hope. And we already know what the tribal chief, like last night, what was happening to today. Same result.
Yeah, 20-3. The Cardinals beating the Chargers, D, as we said, Chargers are charging 24-17.
Yeah, another overrated team. We talk about the Chargers and all that, what they supposed to be doing, what Herbert and them supposed to be doing, but they never do it. They never get the job done. They're all hype all year, and they never get the job done. So, are you surprised? No. And then Kyler Murray's back. Arizona's still trying to make a mini playoff push. Unlikely, but you never know.
I mean, if he's still cussing out Cliff Kingsbury, then that season's over. So, the Cardinals are I mean, they're probably going to win this game, but it is what it is. They're going to win. They probably won't make the playoffs, but neither will the Chargers because they're just as bad. So it is what it is.
Maybe one of the games of the day also, Raiders Seahawks 27-0 in the fourth quarter.
Hey man, I mean I did not expect to see that. The hats off to both of those teams. They playing hard. They playing extremely hard. So that's all I can say.
Yeah, man. The Raiders trying to get off the deck. They've had a crappy season by far. And Seattle, a little surprising season, but maybe midnight striking on the Seahawks, man. You know, they usually been trending up, but they've been kind of fading a little bit. Maybe this is starting to fade. Maybe they might not make the postseason. They might just be on the outside looking in. I think they're in the 7th spot as we speak right now. But they haven't been as well as they've been the last couple of weeks.
We got Packers Eagles on Sunday night. Is this the nail in the coffin of your guys' duck dog?
Well, you know, Aaron Rodgers used to make people, but even now he don't got the guys he can make. And outside of Watson, I think the Eagles going to shut that down. A lot of Sanders tonight, a lot of Brown, a lot of Smith, a lot of Hurts. It's over for Green Bay. You know, Aaron Rodgers had a great career as well. Some will say, and I can't disagree with him, he should have more than one Super Bowl ring. It's looking like it's over for him too. It's disappointing though. Very disappointing. But adios to Aaron Rodgers.
You and your coup de grace, D. You and your coup de grace. Yeah, take a bow. Yes, it's over for Green Bay though. They're not winning tonight. The Eagles will find a way to fly all over them. Like D said, a lot of Hurts, a lot of Sanders, a lot of Smiths, a lot of Browns, a lot of everything is going to destroy this Packers defense, and they don't have a chance in hell of winning today.
And Jeff Saturday won't be playing on Sunday. Raj will be playing on Monday. Monday Night Football.
The Steelers, man. I think I picked them to win. Either way, Jeff Monday is going to find a way to probably lose for his team. But we shall see. We shall see.
No, I picked the Colts. I think they're going to get it done. I think Jeff Sunday, Saturday, whatever day of the week it is, I think, you know, he's wants some energy. They played hard last week against the Eagles, man. Lost by a point. Kenny Pickett's still trying to figure it out. He's getting better, but the Steelers, till they probably play the Ravens, because for some reason when Pittsburgh play the Ravens, boy, they get healed and get coming back. I don't know what it is, but right now, I think the Colts should win the ball night on Monday Night Football.
And last but not least, D, got to get your thoughts on Survivor Series last night. D, I know you popped in the live stream briefly, but just want to get your thoughts on the show overall and moving forward as we have a break to the Royal Rumble at the end of January.
Yeah, we do, man. Props to WWE. I think they kind of helped Survivor Series get a little laid back up. Props to Triple H and them fusing the War Games in, kind of helped things out. You know what was good about the women's War Games that I watched? That it was spots, not for the sake of the spots, but they meant something. You know, a lot of that stuff meant something. Rhea Ripley has really been benefited from Triple H's lead now, and that looked good. Of course, the main event told a story. We could have dealt without the women's match on SmackDown, and really AJ and Finn kind of it's like a setup match. It could have been a Raw match. I thought that would have been the traditional Survivor Series match, or even. But they did the 3-on-3 already tag match. But we didn't need that. And props to Theory winning the USA title. Props to him. That was pretty cool. But it was a good event. I think the events really since Triple H took over has been pretty good, man. Most of them been pretty good. Now AEW has winners coming, I think, on TV. Supposed to be our good friend MJF against Ricky Starks. Now. Ricky Starks was built up. This could have been a really big matchup. But since Ricky hasn't really been built up like that, it might be a little disappointing. But we do have a pay-per-view break. Oh, I'm sorry. Premium live event break. Until the Royal Rumble, which we hope that night we hear that great music from Cody Rhodes. He comes back and he wins the Royal Rumble. That's what we want. Or appearance from the Jabroni Beaten. La pie, not afraid to sweat, not afraid to bleed. Come back to the Rumble and win it. I ain't gonna say guaranteed, but still, that would be cool. That would be cool. So they got a couple ways they can go with that, and I heard that the Fat Man, Kevin Owens, will be fighting Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble, a rematch from 2 years ago. So should be interesting. But overall, it was a good event last night for the WWE. And Triple H doing the scrums afterwards was pretty cool as well.
Raj, any other thoughts? I know you was on last night. I know you drove home during the Ronda Rousey match. You actually were able to drive home. Got home safely, too.
No, I don't got no more thoughts on on Survivor Series. Like I said, it was a good show. They did what they're supposed to do. It's just NXT. I don't know what the hell they're doing at NXT. Scripts, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah, I showed Raj that they scripts.
Shawn Michaels need his ass. That's about it.
D, how can I keep up with you, my brother?
The Dye Sporting Network, of course, we're getting it in ranking gear. A lot of high school basketball coming. We have the state finals coming in the MPSSA. Did a great matchup with Memphis Bell and Stephen DeCare, and overtime basketball with John Kell and Rosedale Christian. So a lot of high school basketball coming, folks, your way. Dye Sporting Network, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and the Twitter at Dye Sporting Network.
Raj, what we got going on, and tomorrow we will be live again, and this coming week as well.
Hey, please, if you enjoyed today's show, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Please tune in for tomorrow's show. We'll be recapping the NFL weekend. We'll get Dre's thoughts on the Ravens as well, as far as Pravante's thoughts on the Washington Commanders, and we'll definitely be doing some more things on tomorrow's show. So stay tuned for the Flex On podcast on Monday nights at 10 p.m. because that's exactly what we do. We give you the sports how you want it, when you need it, and we always keep that moniker going because that's exactly what we want to do. So tune in, man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us again today on the official Baltimore Ravens postgame show. Wish it was under a better mood, but Ravens lose 27-28 to Jacksonville. We'll be back next week after the Ravens Broncos with D, with Raj. We'll see us throughout the week. Hit the bell, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Live tomorrow, as we mentioned. Follow us. Live streams this past week. Got AEW. We got War Games. We got prediction videos. We got AEW this coming week as well. Ravens preview coming, and the post-game show as mentioned. Thank you for spending your Thanksgiving weekend with us and wrapping it up with us as well. Again, follow D on .sportnet. Again, fellas, only place giving you your sports how you want it.
When you need it.
For Raj, for D.
Peace.
Tomorrow, guys. Have a great night. Peace.
Peace.
Don't be this bastard right here. Don't be him. Don't be Marcus Peters. Burnt like toast.
Thanks again, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Travel safely if you are traveling. Get home safely. Take your time. Look both ways. And just arrive alive. You don't got to rush. You'll get there eventually. Thank you, guys. God's favorite host, Faraj, for D, signing out. Have a great night, everybody. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Too many people to name. Appreciate you. Love you guys. Thanks again. We'll do this again this coming week and next week, same time.